Good evening, YouTube. It's Super Bell here. I just want to talk to you guys about not so much the layout itself, but a question I do. Okay, scratch that. It's a question I don't get asked at all, but it's just something I want to touch base on. Now, a lot of people are very unhappy with what the Thomas Wooden Railway line has become, which we now have to call Thomas and Friends Wood. I mean, like most things, there's pros and cons to everything. Even though a lot of people seem that there's more cons to the wood, but you know what? Let's dig deeper. Let's see, because this is gonna sound crazy coming from a lifelong tanky like myself, but there are some things about wood that are beneficial and somewhat better than what we originally had. So with the nine, well actually with the 11, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. With the 11 wood characters I have and change, I'll see what I can get done. Hopefully this won't be a long video, but anyhow, let's talk about the track first and some of the destinations. Now, the one thing that I'll tell you about what I don't like about wood first. Well, as you can see, these plastic brown pieces of track here, they're also on the bridge. I don't like, I mean, I like that there's adapters, but I don't like the wood track itself. This is the wood track. That's how you connect the tracks together. Luckily, you could, mix them together by bringing the old wooden tracks, connecting them to the old wooden track system. Even though, like I said, the curves, like let's use this one for example, it curves in a lot sharper, like more thin, like it's more sharp, like the track, like it would be like, I don't know how to do this, but it would be like this would be like a normal circle, and the other one, and if you would connect like one end of wood and the other with Thomas would really be like this, and then see how it got bigger. So yeah, the track does suck, even though I do like that you have the option by connecting it. But I don't recommend a circle. This was from the I forgot the name of the set, the Stop and Go set or whatever. I removed the roof part of that bench station, if you want to call it. The track I threw away. Knapford Station, same thing. The cranky I finally got rid of. Well, technically not yet. It's in a garbage bag along with other unwanted trains I don't want anymore. But anyhow, cranky was removed from the orange base, just like the bench station, and then being replaced with the old-fashioned, awesome gray old-style cranky from Learning Curve. Now that we talked about the destinations itself, even though it's hardly wood anymore because a lot of it's plastic, let's talk about sorry, just looking out the window. Let's talk about the road vehicles. Let's start with Birdie. I mean, I like that there's a spot for people to sit in, which is like a throwback to Brio, because Brio did the same thing. There's no need for him to have a back coupling. What's he going to connect to? But at least you got the option. The wheels are the same, even though they're plastic. There's the recall number. It's hardly wood though, just these two parts my thumb is pointing at. But if you were to cut this part off, you could use him as Lorry. So yeah, Birdie's okay. He's just not as good as the classic. So that's a con. Now let's look at Harold. Now this is gonna sound crazy coming from me, but I actually do like this Harold better than the old one. It's not the best looking Harold because, well, I mean, this one does have the second propeller on one side. It's a good thing they didn't screw it up by having it on both. But it's good that it's good that it's here, even though it's really small, and it should have been another propeller, a real one. But at least they acknowledged it, unlike the other one, didn't even have it. The propellers I like because when it spins, you can see like the white in it. That's because there's actually color in it. I don't like that it's too boxy looking. It's not round at all. But at least majority of it is wood, even except the propeller and, well, I'd assume his wheels, even though he doesn't have. And this is recalled number. But the most key thing about it is look at the magnet. You could just pick up cargo just like that. That's key. That's the best thing about this Harold that I like a lot. The original Harold never had that. Never had that feature, which sucked. And they actually did make a second Harold where he has a string attached, and as you spin the propellers, it goes up. The cargo goes all the way up, and then you could just like fly away. You just can't just keep spinning it. But yeah, Harold I like. I do like that feature. Bulstrode is definitely. I mean, Thomas wouldn't really, totally bash this version of Bulstrode, but look at all this opportunity you got. You could fit 4 of these, even though it's blocking Bulstrode. But at least aesthetically, the man working inside, the workman, whatever, can actually see through the windows. Just poor old Bulstrode can't. And if only it was green. If only the back part was like cream instead of white. And he does look kind of swamped down, like kind of slicked down, like... like, yeah, I'm gonna hit some waves, like you said in the video. But anyhow, even though I will agree that the old Bulstrode is better looking, this one has more imagination. I mean, if you were to stack 4 more, yeah, it would block the window, but I mean, the old one you can only stack 1. But yeah, Bulstrode I do like. It seems like the road vehicles got the best treatment, and some of the tank engines, not the tender engines and Diesel 10 now, because they shrunk down. And there's Bulstrode with his recall. I mean, the only wood is the cab part, but it's got that like crummy looking design. I don't know. I like it. The cargo itself I like, and it is made of wood. This one's plastic, you can shake it. This one is clear plastic. It's got confetti in it. And these two are just wood. Arlesdale and Croquette. Crosby Croquette. So now, let's talk about engines. So I got a couple more to talk about. The Toby, I'm actually very shocked. He has a lot more detail than the old style Toby, and I actually do have the old style Toby to compare. He's got 3D buffers, even though they're not painted black. The best part about him, even though his cow catches stick out a little bit too much, is I love that he's so curvy. Like, I've explained this in other videos, but the old style Toby and even other versions of Toby had the weird, like, the bolts holding up the roof, and it stuck out too much. It looked more like a brake fan than a tram engine. I love that he's more curvy, even though he could have been a bit big, a tiny bit bigger, so that way these wouldn't look, the cow catcher and buffers wouldn't look too large. And the bell could have been painted yellow, but it's cool though, and at least he actually has a funnel this time, even though it's just paint. Now here's the old style Toby, which is actually the prototype from 1992. Stickers, yes. Crooked, yes. Staples on the bottom, yes. Flat magnets, yes. Flat wheels, yes. But look how it's not like the roof isn't like caving off a little bit. It's good. I like it. Yes, this Toby looks better. And I'm not going to give the win to wood. I like both of them, so they're both not bad. And before I get to the next engine, even though the magnets are still round, there's hardly anything left of the magnets. Next is Diesel. Diesel is 98% perfect. He's got buffers. Okay, he's not angry, but you know, an engine like Diesel is pretty basic. You can't really screw up with Diesel because he's just a generic black shunting Diesel. And oh, speaking of Toby, oh great, what have I done? Anyhow, you see how like he's got staples on his bottom? Well, I guess these are like staples too, which is throwback, just like the tender engines have the painted core, which is a big throwback. If only the back had buffers. But yeah, this Diesel I do like a lot, even though he's a tiny bit, a smidge smaller, shorter than the snow-covered Diesel, which is from 2013. He's like He's like only just taller. Like, I'm trying to like, just you couldn't even tell that he's shrunk. But yeah, Diesel's good. Next, oh, speaking of cargo, let's get back to cargo for a minute. This is my only cargo car. I mean, I don't really have a lot of old, woodens to compare with wood, but the cargo is heavier, but it's the same size, I think. Is it? Let's see. Yep. It's just a tiny bit taller, heavier. But yeah, the cargo's good, and what's best and what's awesome is that Cranky and Colin, or any of the cranes, including Harvey coming up next, all can pick them up. The old and new cargo, which is great. Speaking of Harvey, here he is. He has much better color. He's more color, like he's much brighter than the original Harvey, even though his funnel is shorter and doesn't have any color in it. It doesn't like, his arm doesn't snap when you spin it, just like it like locks in place. He could still pick up cargo, which is good. That's what he's supposed to do. The color's more accurate to the real engine, at least in the TV show. And look at this. Look how high it can go. That's awesome. He's got buffers. He's got a decent looking face. Yeah. Even though the wheel is, just painted on, it's not 3D anymore. But yeah, I do like the crane feature. It just, to me, it seems like just season 1 characters got the worst treatment, and Diesel 10, even though Pinchy, even though he's tiny, does he moves around. There's Scruffy. I don't have the old one, and there's a plane in the sky. That noise. Here's Scruffy with his dynamite car, which also can be picked up by a crane or Harold. Wait, can Harold pick it up? I think he can. Yep. But anyhow, even though it's all plastic, I do like the Scruffy better than the other two. The other, well, technically 3. They made a 3rd one with the same feature before the wood came out. But I do like that he's a little more colorful. I like the dynamite feature. I mean, at least you have the option to have cargo or not, because the first Scruffy was, stuck. It was the gravel was stuck inside of him, even though he never actually had any gravel or whatever those rocks were in him. The second Scruffy, you have the option, and it's magnetic. But this one, I love the gimmick of it popping out, and he is more colorful, and he's got the sparks. The dragon. Now, this is not the Chinese dragon. It's just the dragon, and I do like how his legs bend, and he could just stand up. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a remake of the Chinese dragon, but it almost is, even though it doesn't look anything like it. And what's cool is that you can put cargo in here, so you got more opportunity. Speaking of cargo, also they carve the name and the recall numbers in them now instead of just printing them. So here's the aquarium car, the first one with the hammerhead shark that comes out. I think with or without the tank, you could fit a cargo you could fit a piece of cargo in. Yes, you can. So yeah, no, you got a lot more opportunity with these these aquarium cars over the old ones. And now that the original cargo cars are nearing 20 years old, the water in them is probably like evaporating, because when this one becomes like 20 years old, if I still have it, it's gonna be like out of water. This, of course, is a Stingray. I think it's 2 Stingrays. The other cargo car, yeah, it's tanker, was I think it was a great white shark and a octopus. This one is a hammerhead shark and 2 Stingrays. And then finally, to close this out, we got the passenger coach, which I'm guessing is supposed to be the wood version of the Knapford Express coach, which I never owned. Mine's a little like jittery. That's how I got them like that. Like this side is hard, is in pretty tight. This one's kind of loose, but now, one thing that Learning Curve never did with the express coaches, the old ones here, is that they never made them green. And the cream yellow, could have been a different color, but you know what, though? Having a passenger inside is not that bad. But the most pain in the ass thing, and I don't think anybody's ever touched on this, is let's use Neville as an example. He's gonna go out. So this is more of a functionality issue. But look, when he pulls them up the hill, look, see how they get off the ground, and if you're really fast, it'll just. Oh, that was luck. But if you go really fast, it might just derail. I mean, right now it's not, but it will. Trust me, especially the suspension bridge that goes up and down. There's times when it does that. I'll try to demonstrate it, but okay, now it's working. But you see how like it's off the ground? I don't know if it's because they're too long or it's just. I mean, yeah, it's no excuse to get rid of bogies in the tender engines, but the passenger cars, it's actually pretty convenient because, watch, I'm gonna put this coach in between the express coaches, and let's see if it tries derailing or the wheels get off the ground. Not well, a little bit, but not really though. Like, what? So that's one good thing I like about Wood is that. You don't really, I mean, also another thing that I didn't even plan on mentioning, but I'm gonna, is like when you go on switches, like the double bogies might cause it to derail because, you know, the first set of wheels is gonna go which way you want it to go, but the second one might not. Also tender engines, if you're pushing them, if you're pushing a double bogey engine, it might derail with the double bogies, even though aesthetically it's accurate and it looks good. But my point is that the Wood is not perfect. It is far from perfect, especially the unpainted, unfinished engines and shrinking down the tender engines. But as far as rolling stock goes, and for the sake of hills and realism with Bulstrode and Harold picking up cargo and Harvey being able to raise his arm more and Toby having his curves and more opportunity with cargo, you know what? It's actually a step in the right direction. I mean, I would argue that some stuff about Wood is better than the old style. 100%, no, not at all. But my point is there are pros and cons to the Wood. They're not perfect. I'm probably the only person that likes Wood. At least, like, as far as an old school fan is concerned. But, yeah, this video is going on long. I just wanted to point out, you know, the pros and cons. So, hope you all enjoyed. Bye.